Okay. Good evening. Can you hear me?
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, sir.
Okay. Thank you. I think it's recording. Yeah, everything. Okay. Give me a second. Okay. Before we start, give me a second. Okay. Check the group. I have sent the soft copy of today, the first part of first lesson tute. The soft copy. This is a printed tute already now. The printed tutes are ready. This is a printed tute. Okay, it's a long lesson actually. It's a remember the uh, okay. Yeah, you can hear me, right? Hello, Ned? Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Okay. This is a printed tute. It's a very long lesson, right? It's very long lesson. The first part of today lesson soft copy PDF I have sent it to go. The full tute you can get before next day. However, for this is a very bulk lesson. It's a very long lesson. For this lesson, I'll give you short note as well, written short note as well. It will be very helpful for your future exams and future. When you remember this concept, it will be very easy if you have a short note. Right? Every long lessons, I will give you short note within our class time. Within class time. The other thing, the website. Now I think now new students join, and now you all can access our website, right? I will show you our website. I'll send the link of our website into group. You can register. I think a lot of students now already registered. Others also new students. You can register on our website, and now other batch students already doing as a they are familiar now. You are very new to our website. Therefore, I'll explain how to register and how to use our website and what is the advantage and what is the importance of registration of this website, right? Okay, this is a link. You can search SFT English with Tarak. My name. SFT English with Tarak, right? .lk. Okay, this is a website. You can download past papers, marking schemes here. මෙතනට ගියාම තියෙන ඔක්කොම past papers 2015 to 2025 all past papers. Yeah, and mark schemes there, right? Not only that, they are the study packs. Now you don't need study packs now. Study packs mean if you have missed any lesson, then ඔයාලගේ miss වුණාට බය වෙන්න එපා. I will explain. I will conduct extra classes and complete new students. I will discuss our first missed class, missed lesson. I will complete for you in extra class. Okay, these are study packs. Study packs are out on අපි යන් එතනින් ඉස්සරහට. Yeah, this is your badge. You can click 2028 A-level theory. 2028 A-level theory. Okay, if you want to watch our previous recordings, this is March. Yes, March, April, May, June and July also updating, right? Still not updated. June and July also updated. Most probably tomorrow it will be updated. Now, okay, these are our live classes. Okay, now still it is make it June, right? It will be updated today night. Okay, if you want to get our this month's record, right? July recordings. If you want our July recordings, you can click our join classes in the live class, and you can, if you pay your class fees, no problem. If not paid, you have to pay for that. Okay, this is the 1st of June, last month, right? 1st of June, 7th of June, 14th of June, 21st of June. It will be updating, right? It is updating, and if you got the access of this page, it is working until your exam complete. 2 years में වැඩ करना, right? 2028. This expire 2028 class expire period is 2028 August or September, right? මෙතන unlimited දාලා තියෙන මේ වගේ unlimited time it is working. Expired කරන්න වෙන්නේ එතකොට exam ඉවර වෙනකම් වැඩ කරනවා, right? Okay, that's the advantage. Again, you can go through, you can get the access of each month. Okay, I will update. It is up to July. Today I will update. Okay, you can get the access. Okay, before that you have to register. How to register? You can click this our logo, then you can go to home page. Oh, click the home, right? This is our home page. Then click the login button. Login. First you have to register, right? In our website. Okay, if you already registered, you can enter your username or your email and your password. If you not registered yet, click the register now. Register now, right? Click the register now button. Click the register now. Okay, then you have to fill your first name, last name, username. Any username you can use with your name, right? Username and email. It's password, not the email password, right? Password you don't need to enter email password. The password is required to the access our website, not the email password. Email password, no problem, right? and you have to confirm again password, and if you want, you have terms and condition, and click this, tick this button and click the register. Understood? Then you can, your profile is created. Your profile is created, right? After that, you can get the access of live classes and future classes, everything. Understood? You don't need to pay any extra fee. Only class fees is a payment. Okay, if you have any doubt, I'll send a full detailed video about our website. Then you can get the full idea, right? However, within this month, you all need to register in our website, because our other batch, all students already registered and they're doing, they familiar and they're doing well. They are working very well with our website, right? Okay, if you have any doubt, you can ask me about website, then I'll help you. Please get the access. Get the access. First, register website. It is very simple, right? First, go to home page and click login. Register now and fill your details and register. I clear how to register? How many students registered already? I'm gonna take a blunder. How many registered already? Raise hand. Better to do collect data in our Google form. Google form එක fill කරලා තිබ්බේ මං හිතන්නේ 12යි. Only 12 students filled the Google form. Others also, after today class, please fill our Google form. I will pin again this message. It will be very easy to then අපේ අත්තටම ඔයාලගේ badge එක තාම system එක, the system is not running, right? New students joining අපේ 2027 අයගේ no problem. Tuts ටික වෙලාවට යනවා, ඒ ටික it's going with the system, but your badge still it's still manually doing, right? Manually doing, because new student joining is program එකක් නෑ තාම ඇත්තට. Therefore, please help me to get your badge also into our schedule program, right? එතකොට ඔයාලගේ tuts late වෙන්නේ නැහැ. Everything will be perfect. හරි. ඒක fill කරන්න Google form එක, right? Fill the Google form. I'll pin after class. I will pin the Google form. Then you can fill and leave. Hi. Okay. Let's go. Other thing. I think only 15 students complete the exam. Some students missing, absent. Some students absent. What happened? How many students absent? Raise hand. Exam. Unit test, our basic mathematics unit test. Appa godak inna. One, two, three, four, five, six. 7, 8. Okay. I'll give you another time within this week. I'll give you another time to complete. Please attend in the second term, right? In the second term, please attend, and I'll give you mark scheme for unit test. I'll give you mark scheme and your marks. The marks then විදියකුත් නැහැ, mark scheme then විදියකුත් නැහැ. ගොඩක් අය කරලා නැහැ. Right? Yeah. Please attend the second term. Second term, don't absent in the second term, right? Second term make absent in bad. Unit test complete. Then yeah, then I'll give you mark scheme and your marks, and your marks, normally our unit exam marks we enter into Excel sheet. Excel sheet and no, Google Sheet. Still not up. For your batch, this is still updating, right? Tam up exam anything, right? Then you can get your performance. Performance after 6 to 8 months. How about your performance? How about your pattern? Think this is exam number 1, exam your name. It's like this: name, exam number 1, exam number 2, exam number 3. Your marks you can see in a single paper, single sheet, single row, right? ඔයකම අපි update කරනවා in future exams. Before, normally after 2026 class completed, now it is very busy with 2026 exam is next month. After 2026 class completed, your batch also we get into the schedule, right? Schedule, and everything will be updated. And don't miss anything, right? Okay, let's move into lesson. Okay. No, Vinuji. No, that's why I told you. More than 8 students was absent, Vinuji. Then I can't give you mark scheme and marks yet. I'll give you another day for complete the exam for absent students, and then I'll give you marks and marking schemes. Okay. Hari. Okay. Let's start our new lesson. It is forces and its behaviors. Right, may take your notebook and write down the topic: forces and its behaviors. Forces and its behaviors. Forces and its behaviors. Forces and its behaviors. Write down the topic on your notebook: forces and its behaviors. Give me a second. Write down forces and its behaviors. Forces and its behaviors. Okay. Okay. This is the force is the main lesson in our grade 12 syllabus, right? Everything for it is not a single lesson. After force lesson, we discussing different types of work, energy and power, mechanical properties of matters, electricity, fluid mechanism, right? We're doing some very interesting physics lessons. Interesting physics lesson. That's the basic for all physics lessons. That's why I told that's the main lesson. That's the main lesson in grade 12 syllabus. That's the main lesson. Okay, it is a very bulk lesson. In O level time also you did some basic things of forces, right? You did about force equilibrium, friction force, you did resonant force as well, right? Correct? Resonant force and moment of force, couple of force you discussed, right? Couple of force mean steering wheel and water tap. You did, right? Correct? In O level science. Yeah, couple of force mathakai. Yes, couple of force and moment of force and resonant force, right? But in this lesson, in our A level syllabus, we doing in detail each and every topics in the force lesson, in details, in very advanced level we discuss it, right? In O level time you only doing in only background, right? Only doing the background of each topics, but not like that. In force lesson, in our lesson, we doing everything in details, and actually that's the base for other all physics lessons, right? Without this force lesson you can't understand any lesson in the syllabus, in the for any force physics lesson in the syllabus, right? Okay, before moving to lesson, okay, this is the content of the lesson. Okay, write down content of the lesson. Content mean I'll give you all subtopic, then we can complete one by one and doing calculations, while doing calculations, right? Content of the lesson. Content of the lesson. Write down content of the lesson. Content of the lesson. The topic forces and its behaviors. Subtopic content of the lesson. The first content, first subtopic, basics of force. Basics of force. Basics of force. The second one, Newton's law. I think you know Newton's law also you doing in the O level time, right? You doing. Newton's law, Newton's first law, second law, third law. Yeah. But not like that. In our lesson, we doing all applications and in detail idea about Newton's law. Not only by heart Newton's first law, second law, third law, right? With entire details, every details we discussing Newton's law. See the difference, right? Try to understand difference in O level time and after today lesson. I will complete the Newton's law today. Okay, try to see the difference. Complete you doing only in O level, you doing only background. Is this a physics lesson? Yes. Physics lesson ekadda kiyala ahana? Yes. Vinuji, don't you have our syllabus tooth? Mama dilati in the first day, first introduction session, I gave you syllabus, all lessons and their classification, everything. Okay, I'll send it again into group. New students, I'll send the syllabus and the syllabus classification and everything into group again. I have sent it in the beginning, right? Newton's law. Newton's law. Third one. Friction force. Friction force. Friction force also you doing in the O-level time. Friction mean the resistance to move any object on a surface. The resistance force, that's a friction, right? The fourth one, force resolution. It is a new topic, right? Make force resolution. I hope it's a new lesson. Force, new topic. Force resolution. Force resolution. It's a new one. Force resolution. Force resolution. The next one, resultant force. Resultant force. Resultant force. Resultant force you did only background, but in O-level time you did only background, very basic things. But in this lesson we discussing everything in details about resultant force. Resultant force. Sixth one, moment of force. Moment of force. Moment of force. Seventh one, couple of force. Couple of force you discussed. Couple of force in the O-level time, right? But without calculation, in couple of force calculation also we doing in this lesson, right? But don't worry, I will explain everything. A to Z, everything I will explain, right? Starting from very basic level, everything I will explain. Okay, final topic is force equilibrium. Force equilibrium. Force equilibrium. Right, force equilibrium. Okay, that's the content of lesson. May content of the lesson. We have 8 subtopics. 8 subtopics. Okay, note down. Okay, complete. This is the content of the lesson. Basic of forces, Newton's law, friction force, force resolution, resultant force, moment of force, couple of force, and force equilibrium. Okay, that's the content of the lesson. It's a very long lesson. That's the main lesson in grade 12. That's an important lesson. Right. Okay, if you complete, write down the first topic, first subtopic, basics of forces. Basics of force. I complete, Vinuji? Complete it. Basics of force. Basics of force. Basics of force. Write down the first topic, basics of force. Basics of force. Basics of force. Basics. Okay. The first thing, before start force lesson, what is the meaning of force? What's the meaning of force? Can anyone explain what's the meaning of force? අපි බලයක් කියලා කියන්නේ force එකක් කියන්නේ මොකක්ද? What's the meaning of a force? What's the meaning of a force? Any idea? Now think this is an object. This is an object, right? अब मैं friction का करूँ. Right. This is an object on a surface. The blue one is a object, right? No. The force is not the ma. It is Newton's second law equation. Right. I want what's the meaning of force? Partially correct, Senon and Khalidu. A push or pull that act upon an object. 50% correct. 50% correct. Hi. Okay. The force is what's the meaning of force? Now think this is an object and this is a surface, right? This object and this surface. Now object on a surface. Now if I applied external force, think force, the object is moving. The object is moving. Now think about moving object. If I think about moving object and if I applied another force, we can stop, right? We can stop. Yeah, a lot of answers. Unbalanced energy needed to push. Good. Force acting on an object. State of very good, Shiva. You correct. Force means a certain amount of energy given to move an object, not only moving a cell. Now think it is a moving object. I am going to apply force and resting, stationary. Now it is not only moving, right? Only moving. Any push or pull act upon an object resulting from object's interaction with another object. No, another object is not interacting, Benji. Understand the force is an external agent, right? The force is an external agent. Yeah, your answers, all answers partially correct, but this is a syllabus given exact definition, right? The force is an external agent, externally applied agent, right? Externally applied agent which can change the motion type of any object. Force eකට පුළුවන් change the motion type. Change the motion type means think it is a rest object now. It's a rest object. By applying this external force, external agent, we can move this object, right? Now this rest object, now it is moving due to this applied force. Think about moving object, applying a force, we can stop. Moving object, we can change the direction or we can change the speed, right? By applying force. I got. Remember, the force is an external agent which can change the motion type of any object. Motion type means rest object moving object rest, and moving object change the speed. Okay, like this, motion state changing external agent called as a force. Understood? That's a definition of force. A force is an external agent can change the motion type of any object. Motion type in rest objects moving and moving object convert to rest, and moving object change the direction or moving speed, right? Moving speed. I got this is the meaning of force. Then how you can define the force? The force is an external agent. We can change the motion type of any object. Write down the first point. The force is an external agent. The force is an external agent which can change the force is an external agent which can change the motion state of any object. Motion state of any object. The force is an external agent which can change the motion state of any object. Motion state of any object. Okay, this is the definition. I'm not going to give you full note. The full note available in the tube, right? Full note given in the tube. Tube එක දීලා තියෙනවා. මෙන්න මෙහෙම. A force is an external agent that change the state of motion and object tends to change it. Applying a force can set a stationary object into motion, right? Stationary object move කරන්න පුළුවන්. Stationary object into motion and moving object to rest. Moving object to rest. Or change the speed or direction of moving object. Change the speed or direction of moving object. Understood? Hard. Now, the second thing. The first point is done. It is what's the meaning of force. A force is an external agent, can change the motion type, can change the motion state. That means rest object, moving object, rest, and change the velocity and direction of moving object. Right? Understood the first concept? Sit down. Hard. Now, let's move into second point. You know, in physics, we're discussing about vector quantities as well as scalar quantities. Vector quantities in measurement lesson also I explained. Vectors and scalars. What's the meaning of vectors? Physical quantities. Physical quantities. Physical quantities. We can divide into two types. Vectors and scalars. Vectors and scalars. Scalars. Okay, what are the meaning of vectors? Vectors. Vectors mean physical quantity with, with both magnitude and direction. Magnitude and direction. Vectors consist of magnitude as well as direction. Right? Both consist quantities we called as vectors. Direction. Scalars are physical quantities only consist of magnitude without specific direction. Magnitude without specific direction. Right? Understood? Now tell me, what are the examples for vectors and what are the examples for vectors? What are the examples for vectors? What are the examples for vectors you're doing in the O-level time? Right? Example. Physical quantities. Yeah, I'll start. The displacement. The displacement is a vector. Displacement. What else? What else? Senora. Senal. Speed. No. Speed is not a me. Sorry, speed is not a vector. Velocity is a vector. Yes. Velocity is a vector. Yes, acceleration is a vector. Acceleration is a vector. Acceleration. Acceleration. Deceleration also vector. Same thing. Deceleration. What else? If you got what else? Yeah, displacement. Leon. Momentum. Yeah, momentum also vector. Momentum. Yeah, weight. Yeah, weight mean energy. It's a type of force. Yeah, pressure also vector. Pressure. They are the vectors. Pressure. Now, what are these examples for scalars? What are the examples for scalars? Distance. Displacement is a vector. Distance is a scalar, right? Distance. What else? What else? Speed. Speed, very good. Speed. Tower. Mass, very good. Mass. What else? Time, very good. Time. Okay, enough. Okay, they are the scalars, they are the vectors. Now, at the medium, mute කරගන්න. Yeah, very good. Okay, they are the scalars, they are the vectors. They are the vectors and scalars. Okay, now my question is, the force, is it vector or scalar? Vector or scalar? Force is a physical quantity, right? Force belongs to vector or scalar? Force, yeah, it is a vector. Force is a vector physical quantity. Force is a vector physical quantity because the force has a magnitude 5 Newton, 2 Newton, 7 Newton. It has magnitude, and force has a specific direction of action. Force has a specific direction, right? As example, it is an object, 10 Newton force act into right side direction, right? The magnitude is 10 and direction is right side direction. Okay, then it is vector. The force is a vector quantity. The reason it consists of direction as well as magnitude as well as direction, right? The force is a vector quantity. Force is a vector quantity. Okay, write down the second point in the short note. This is the first point in the short note. Write down the second point. The force is a vector physical quantity. The force is a vector physical quantity. The force is a vector physical quantity. Okay, go to tute. the vector definition, the example, everything given in the tune, right? Mama denne api pothe liyanne very simple short note, right? Okay, මෙතන තියෙනවා when an external force is applied to an object, if it is it acts in a specific direction. When an external force applied to an object, it acts in a specific direction. Therefore, a force has a both magnitude and direction. Physical quantities that possess both magnitude and direction are called as vector quantities. Hence, force is a vector quantity. The force is a vector quantity. The force is a vector quantity. Okay, now weight. What's the meaning of weight? ඔයාලා දැන් ගොඩක් අය දැම්මා මේ weight කියලා physical quantity. Weight also type of force. වෙනුයි. Weight also type of force because now think it is a 5 kilogram object. 5 kilogram object. Then the weight equal the force act to the gravity direction. In future parts we discussing. Now get the simple knowledge, simple idea. The weight is a force type of force. It is act towards to the gravity direction. The force act towards the gravity direction. You know, how about the weight of this 5 kilogram object? You know, weight equal make mg, right? Weight equal mg, mass into gravitational acceleration. Mass 5 kilogram, gravitational acceleration 10 ms minus 2. 10 ms minus 2. Then it is 50 Newton. 50 Newton. Understood, Vinoji? The weight is a type of force. Therefore, weight also vector because it's a type of force. Right. Okay. Any doubt up to now? Any doubt? Hurry. Okay, let's move into next part. Okay, don't know what is the unit of weight, unit of force, the unit of force, unit of force. What's a standard unit? SI unit of force. What's a SI unit of force? Standard international unit. Yeah. Yeah, okay. It is Newton, but if you know F equal ma, F equal mg, F equal ma, F equal mg equation, you got the unit 50, 5 into 10, 50, 5 into 10, 50 kg ms minus 2. Is it not Newton? Now I told weight is a type of force. Then you all know this equation, right? F equal ma, Newton's second law equation. M mean kilogram, A mean ms minus 2. That one also kg ms minus 2. Kg ms minus 2. Then what is the unit? Newton or not? Yeah, actually the standard unit is Newton. Newton. Actually the Newton is a derived unit. Derived SI unit. In the first lesson I explained. I already explained, right? In the first lesson, measurement lesson I explained. This SI unit we can classify it into derived units and base unit. The Newton is not a base unit, it's a derived unit. The actual unit of force is kg ms minus 2 tama. Kg ms minus 2 is the actual unit, right? But as respect for the Isaac Newton, the Isaac Newton is a scientist who found lot of concept of forces and its behaviors, lot of concept. Gravity force Isaac Newton. You know Apple story, right? The gravity force, and there are lot of relationships, theories, everything explained by force related things explained by Isaac Newton. As respect 1 kg ms minus 2, we consider as 1 Newton. Understood? 1 kg ms minus 2 consider as 1 Newton. Okay. Okay, that's his story. Okay, write down the third point. Write down the third point. The force measuring derived SI unities. The force measuring derived SI unities. Newton. Newton within bracket capital N. And write down below 1 kg ms minus 2 equal 1 Newton. Write down below 1 kg ms minus 2 equal 1 Newton. That's why called as derived unit. It is not the base unit, right? It is not the base unit. Okay, let's move into next part. Okay, write down the subtopic under basics of forces. Subtopic under basics of forces. The nature of force. The nature of force. My first topic is basics of forces. Basics of force. Write down the subtopic. Nature of a force. Nature of a force. Nature of a force. Nature of a force. Okay. The nature of the force mean what are the characteristics of a force? You know, if it is force, now you already know it's a vector, therefore it has a magnitude, right? The first characteristic of force, it has a specific magnitude, right? 10 Newton, 12 Newton, whatever magnitude, right? It's a quantity, therefore it has a magnitude. The magnitude of the force. That's the first nature, right? Magnitude of the force. Magnitude of the force. Magnitude of force. The second one, since it is vector quantity, it has a specific direction. We already discussed. Direction of the force. Direction of the force. Direction of the force. Not only that, if it is force applied on any object, it has an acting point. Acting point where it is acting. There is an acting point of force, right? There is an acting point of force that we call as acting point. Action point of the force. Okay, if you got the nature of the force, there are three main requirements. If there is an force එකක් තියෙනවා නම්, it should have three main characteristics. The first one is the magnitude, since it is quantity. Since it is vector quantity, it has a specific direction, and it has an acting point as well. Right? It has an acting point as well. Okay, now do you know how we can graphically illustrate, how we can graphically describe a force? How we can graphically describe, normally graphically in drawings, how we represent a force? කොහොමද අපි represent කරන්නේ force එකක්? How we can represent a force? Any idea? Say no. How we can represent a force in graphically? How to represent a force graphically? Anyone? Anyone? No, we can't use a chart. It's a complex and yeah, by a pull or push, how we can represent graphically? අපි අඳලා drawing කරලා පෙන්නන්නේ කොහොමද? By an arrow. Very good. By an arrow. Yeah, the force is represented by an arrow. Okay, think this is a force and this is a force. Oh, me arrow එක මෙතනින් දාන්නත් පුළුවන්. අපි මෙතනින් දාමු. Okay, this is a force acting into right side direction by keeping the point of application and an arrow. Yes, very good, Hashim. Yeah, we can use an arrow to graphically represent, graphically show the nature of the force. Right. Now I told the force has three main characteristics. The force has magnitude, force has direction, and acting point as well. Okay, everything we have to describe by this arrow. How to describe force? All natures in graphically, how to explain? Remember, direction simple. Direction we can explain by the arrowhead, right? Now it is towards the right side direction. If it is arrow into this direction, it is left side direction. That's okay. Now acting point also okay. Remember this starting point, the opposite side, arrow side taken away, opposite side, not the arrow side, the opposite side starting point is the acting point. Now my problem is how we can represent the magnitude of the force by an arrow. Using an arrow, how to represent the magnitude of the force? That's the problem. Any idea? Remember, the magnitude is represented by the length of this line. The magnitude is represented by the length of this line. How to represent magnitude by a line? Remember, the magnitude of the force represent according to a scale. Now think if in this force, it is a assumption, right? අපි හදාගන්නපු scale එකකට තමයි යා represent කරන්නේ. Right? Think 1 centimeter of this line represent 1 centimeter of this line represent 5 Newton. 5 Newton. Think this line 15 centimeter now. Now what is the magnitude of this? What's the magnitude of this force? What's the magnitude of this force? 15 into 5, it is 75 Newton. The magnitude equal 75 Newton. Understood? Okay, every characteristics, natures of the force we can describe graphically described by the arrow. The arrow head represent the direction, the length of the line represent the magnitude of the force, and the starting point represent the acting point of the force. Understood? Understood. Asel? Any doubt up to now? Now we discussed what's the meaning of force, and it's a vector quantity, what's the unit of force, very basic things we discussed. Now this is the nature of force. The nature of force. Force has three main characteristics, and that's how to represent a force graphically by an arrow. Any doubt? Sitila? Suhas? Jeniru? Khalid? Har. Okay, write down the topically the nature of a force and write down first point, nature of a force, write down. Write down. There are three main factors. There are three main factors. There are three main factors necessary to. There are three main factors necessary to fully describe a force. There are three main factors necessary to fully describe a force. Fully describe a force. Fully describe a force. Write down first one, the magnitude of the force. The second one, the direction of force. Third one, the action point of the force. Complete. Complete. Akil, complete. Akil. Write down the next topic. Graphically represent a force. Graphically represent a force. Graphically represent a force. And draw this direction, acting point, graphically represent a force කියලා ලිව්වා මේකෙන්ද හරිද? Draw the diagram, acting point, force acting point is, and the length of the, this is a magnitude. Magnitude of the force. Right. Draw this. Right. Complete, right? Sinon? Harnit? Right. Okay. Let's move into the second main topic. The basics of forces is completed. Basics of forces, the first topic, the basic part is completed. Okay, let's move into our second main topic, අපි ලියපු content එකේ what is the second main topic? Newton's law. Newton's law. The second main topic in our content of the lesson, Newton's law. Newton's law. Newton's law. Newton's law. Newton's law. Okay, as I told earlier, Newton's law mean Isaac Newton is a scientist, investigate and found lot of concept and theories belongs to forces and its behaviors, right? Therefore, Isaac Newton introduced 3 theories, 3 laws related to forces and its behaviors especially, right? Not only forces and how to behave objects by these forces, right? By these external forces. Now, Newton's law, you already know it is 3 types of laws, right? The first law is the Newton's first law. The basic law we called as the Newton's first law. Newton's first law. Okay, write down the main topic Newton's law and write down subtopic Newton's first law. 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 Do you know what's the meaning of Newton's first law? Now, it is very simple, right? I will explain very simple way. Try to get the idea. Not, you can't by heart and do calculations, right? You should have complete idea what's the Newton's first law and what he explained in the first law. While make a padam karagatta kiyala, if you by heart this concept, you can't do doing calculations. If you got the idea of this first law, second law and third law, you can apply this knowledge into any question and calculation, you can get answers, right? Now, what's the meaning of Newton's first law? Before Newton's first law, Isaac Newton introduced main 4 motion types. Api gamu vehicle ekak. Get the vehicle. Think it is vehicle. Now think this is rest stage, stationary, right? The first one is rest object. Rest object. What are the other possibilities? Rest object. What are the other possibilities? Vehicle ekak tiyena puluwan monada? Other possibilities. If it is start motion, what happened? Acceleration. Accelerate wenna puluwan, right? Acceleration. Now, moving type, acceleration. Yes, acceleration. What else? Now, if we think acceleration, if we think the vehicle is moving on a highway gaddi monawa get motion ekak tiyen? Highway, expressway, same speed. If it is maintained same speed, uniform velocity. Not acceleration, Vinuji. Uniform velocity. Uniform acceleration means increase speed, gradually increase the speed. Increase the speed gradual, like. But uniform velocity means same velocity. I got Vinuji. Yeah, uniform velocity. Okay, after at the exit of the highway, again slow down. That we called as deceleration. Okay, they are the main motion types. Actually, in the Newton's first law, he explained about this first 2 motion type. He explained about, he identified about rest and uniform motion objects. Rest and uniform motion objects introduce and identify. Right, Sanjay. Very good. He explained about rest and uniform motion. First two types of motion types. Okay, he explained. It is very simple, right? The Newton explained. If I got balance object, what's the meaning of balance object? Without any unbalanced force. Think this is a object. This is an object. 10 Newton force act into this direction and 10 Newton force act opposite direction as well. Now it is a balanced system without any unbalanced force. No any unbalanced force. Both direction, vertical direction and horizontal. It is a balanced object. It is a balanced object. Now he explained, if any object, there is no any unbalanced force. If there is no any unbalanced force, rest objects stay rest and rest object rest එකේම තියෙනවා. ඒ කියන්නේ මෙහෙම. Think again, this is the object. This is the object. Now it is rest. Now it is rest. Now if there is no any unbalanced force, if it is balanced state, it is keep rest, no any moment, right? And in first law he explained, if you got balance moving object, right? Balance moving object, if it is moving, the object moving in uniform velocity, it's moving with uniform velocity, moving with uniform velocity, uniform velocity, uniform velocity, right? This is the Newton's first law. Very simple thing introduced. If there is no any unbalanced force, right? If there is no any unbalanced force, until applied unbalanced force, can still no unbalanced force, right? At the balance state, rest object stay rest, and if it is moving with uniform velocity, no acceleration, no deceleration. Understood? In the Newton's first law, he explained about rest and uniform motion object. He explained all rest and uniform motion objects are balanced. If it is no any unbalanced force, it is rest or uniform velocity. Then if you got rest or uniform velocity object, it is always balanced. No any unbalanced force. Understood? Any doubt? That's the most important thing you need to understand. මේ පොඩි points ඔයාලට in future lessons very important, right? What he explained if there is no any unbalanced force act on any object, if there is no any unbalanced force act on any object, rest object stays rest and moving object moving with uniform velocity, no acceleration or deceleration. Understood? Vinuji? Nitira? Okay, write down the subtopic Newton's first law. Newton's first law. Newton's first law. Write down like this. If there is no any unbalanced force act on any object, if there is no unbalanced force act on any object, if there is no unbalanced force, if there is no unbalanced force act on any object, rest object stay rest and moving objects moving with uniform velocity. Try to get the concept, right? මේක නම් පාඩම් කරගෙන වැඩක් නැහැ ඇත්තට. මේක අහන්නේ නැහැ. Write down the Newton's first law. එහෙම අහන්නේ 1% වගේ possibility එකක් තියෙන එහෙම, right? But this concept including questions, thinking questions asking including this concept, right? If there is no any unbalanced force act on any object, rest object stays rest and rest එකක් නම් stays rest, and if it is moving object moving with uniform velocity. Okay, make up tandi. Then draw this and note down like this. Okay, complete. Okay, do you have any doubt in the Newton's first law? Any doubt, Asel? Do you have any doubt in the Newton's first law? No? Khalidu? Clear Ayuti. If not, I have a doubt. Now think it is a rest object. Now it is rest object, right? Rest object. Now it is according to Newton's first law. There is no any unbalanced force. On rest objects or uniform velocity object. No any unbalanced force. But then make a vitarak karna. This one now it is balance. Balance mean rest, right? But there is a force, weight. Now this object. This is the object. Think it is 1 kilogram object. 1 kilogram object. 10 Newton according to mg, weight equal mg. There is 10 Newton force act towards the ground gravity direction. Ground direction. then how we can say it is balance? How we can say it is balance? Then there is 10 Newton, if it is 1 kilogram, 10 Newton force act towards the gravity direction. Then how we can say it is balance? Ab balance කියන්නේ කොහොමද? Anyone? Yeah, 3 answers. Well, very good. There is a resultant force acting. No, the thing is correct, Hashini. It is not the word. Resultant force word wrong. There is an force acting to opposite direction. That's correct. Resultant force කියන එක වැරදි. හරිද? Yeah. There is another force. Resultant force we discussing in the future parts, Hashini. There is another force act towards to acting from the surface. The thing is the surface acting from the surface that we called as reaction force. Reaction or perpendicular reaction, right? Perpendicular reaction. Perpendicular reaction. That you already know in the all over time, right? Perpendicular reaction. Perpendicular reaction. Perpendicular reaction. Remain if it is keep rest. Rest and the weight act towards the ground direction, gravity direction, it is 10. The reaction force equal R equal, it is 10 Newton. That's why no any horizontal forces, on this object. That's why on horizontal direction, no any unbalanced force, vertical direction, no any unbalanced force. That's why it is balanced object. No any unbalanced force into any direction. That's why it is keep rest, staying rest. Understood? Right. Draw this one example. Example කියලා මේකනේ. Balance object. Okay. Okay. Then write down the Newton's before. Yeah, Newton's second law. Newton's second law. Write down the second subtopic under Newton's law. Our main second topic is Newton's law. Under Newton's law, the second subtopic. Second subtopic, Newton's second law. Newton's. Okay, that's the most important law. Make it තේරුම් ගන්න ඕන. Newton's second law. Second law. Newton's second law. Okay. I told. Yeah, Nitira. Not only F equal MA. You need to get the idea, right? Hi. Balamu, let's see what he explained in the second law. He explained about actually unbalanced object. Newton explained in the second law about unbalanced object. Unbalanced object. Unbalanced means like this. They have an unbalanced force like this. M is mass, right? It is 20 Newton and horizontal other direction, opposite direction 10 Newton. then there is an unbalanced force into right side direction. Unbalanced force or resultant force. Resultant force. Hashini, that is the resultant force. Then the resultant force equal 10 Newton into right side direction. I got that we can discuss later. Okay, that's the resultant force, unbalanced force. Hari. Now it is an unbalanced object. It is not balanced, it is an unbalanced object. Now definitely if it is, he explained, if it is unbalanced object, if there is an unbalanced force act on any object, this object is accelerating. The object has acceleration. Right? If there is an unbalanced force act on any object, definitely it is accelerating. Accelerating. Accelerating can be plus or minus. If it is plus, it is acceleration. If it is minus acceleration, it is deceleration. Right? However, it is accelerating. Right? If there is an unbalanced force act on any object, the object is accelerating or decelerating. Right? Hari. එයා කියනවා මෙන්න මෙහෙම. He explained before that this Newton's second law we can explain by two methods. Hari, Newton's second law and write down again subtopic based on acceleration method. Based on acceleration methods. Methods දෙකක් තියෙනවා. In O level time you doing only acceleration method, but momentum method also we have discussed in our syllabus. Momentum method also asking in the questions. Hari, බලමු. Okay, don't worry, I'll explain everything. Hari. Newton's second law. Again, first, based on acceleration. Based on acceleration. Based on acceleration. Hari. Based on acceleration. Hari. Okay, what I told you. If there is an unbalanced force act on any object, if there is no balanced object, if there is an unbalanced force act on any object, the object is definitely accelerating. This acceleration can be plus or minus. If it is plus, it is accelerating. If it is minus, it is decelerating. Okay, however, it has an acceleration. In the Newton's first law, in acceleration based method, Newton explained this acceleration while increasing the mass. Yeah, make a value for the experiment. While increasing the mass of the object, the acceleration is decreasing. I got when increasing the mass, api mass එක වැඩි කරද්දි same unbalanced force api මේකට mass එක වැඩි කරනවා, increasing the mass, then acceleration is decreasing, right? Therefore, that we call acceleration inversely proportional to the mass. Inversely proportional means 1 over m. 1 over m, right? Don't get very complex, right? When increasing the mass of the object, the acceleration is decreasing. Therefore, that we call inversely proportional. How we write the inversely proportional? Acceleration proportional inversely with m. 1 over m දාන්නේ මේක. If it is directly proportional අපි දාන්නේ මෙහෙම. If it is directly proportional, it is m, right? But now it is inversely proportional, 1 over m, right? Understood? Right? Actually, inversely proportional. And with same mass, if we may increase in the unbalanced force, he noticed then acceleration is increasing. When increasing the unbalanced force, the acceleration is increasing. Then he introduced another relationship. This acceleration directly proportional to the unbalanced force. Directly proportional to the unbalanced force, not the force, right? It is unbalanced force. That is a Newton's second law. This is a Newton's second law. This is a Newton's second law. If there is unbalanced force act on any object accelerating, this acceleration directly proportional to the unbalanced force and inversely proportional to the mass of the object. He explained, however, he explained about unbalanced force, unbalanced object. Unbalanced means it is accelerating. This acceleration directly proportional to the unbalanced force and inversely proportional to the mass. That's all. I got. Write down like this. Write down like this. If there is an unbalanced force, clearly write down your short note. It is very important to simply understand this concept, right? Tute එකේ තියෙන්නේ little bit complex mean make a lot of physics books given this concept little bit advanced way, right? But I'm explaining this whole concept in very simple way. Make it the same thing. Sometimes make a word same change right? Simple in exam you can get the full marks. Okay, if there is an unbalanced force, act on any object, if there is an unbalanced force act on any object, that means unbalanced object. If there is an unbalanced force act on any object, the object is accelerating. Object is accelerating. This acceleration directly proportional to the unbalanced force, not the force, unbalanced force and directly proportional to the unbalanced force and inversely proportional to the mass of the object. Okay, this is a Newton's second law. If there is an unbalanced force, that means unbalanced object, it is accelerating. Get the simply, right? Sarla idea again. If there is an unbalanced force, it is accelerating, right? This acceleration directly proportional to the unbalanced force and inversely proportional to the mass. Complete. How to get the tute? Good question. How to get the tute mean this is your tute. It include all theories in details. Completely space I'll give you all spaces, notes. Some parts I have given full note, and in details it is given, right? Details with diagrams, everything explained in the tute. Okay. Before next week you can get the tute. The thing group July group community in our community there is a group 2028 A level ජුලයි කියලා ඇති. ගෲප් එකක් ඇති. ඒකේ එකට ඇඩ් වෙන්න ඕනේ. Yeah, I think you can check the community. There is an July group. Right. After that, you have to fill the Google form. You have to fill the Google form. I'll pin after the class. You have to fill the Google form. Then I can enter your address into our program in our system. Okay, how before next week you can collect the tune. Before next week you can collect the tune. Please, yeah, before next week if you want to collect tune, yeah, today 5th of July, at least before 8th of July you have to complete this July payment and class fee, and you have to add into our July group. Okay, then you can get the tune within 2 days. Yeah. Hari, I complete. Hari. Okay, what I told you, if there is an unbalanced force act on any object, if there is an unbalanced force act on any object, the object exactly accelerating. This acceleration directly proportional to the unbalanced force and inversely proportional to the mass. This is a Newton's second law. Hari. Draw this and note down. Wait, before that, may balanda. Now acceleration directly proportional to the unbalanced force and inversely proportional to the mass. This is a Newton's second law. Hari. May balanda වෙනදේ බලන්න. Now acceleration directly proportional with unbalanced force and inverse proportional to mass. Then we can get the relationship acceleration proportional to unbalanced force and 1 over m. 1 over m. Right? Now this acceleration, okay, now with this proportional mark we can't do calculation. Therefore we can remove this proportional mark. The rule is in physics, the rule is if you want to remove this proportional mark, we have to add a constant. Then f into 1 mean f divided by m. F into 1 divided by f divided by m, and we have to add a constant. We have to add a constant. Remember the constant value is k equal f divided by m. In experimentally, this k value has found it is 1. K mean 1 into f mean again f, then make k value එක හොයාගෙන තියෙනවා. The value of k is found as 1. Experimentally it has found it is 1, right? 1. Then k into f mean again f. A equal f over m. We can get a new equation, f equal m a. F equal m a. Understood? Okay, this is the Newton's second law equation according to the based on acceleration method. Understood? Draw this and note down this one and this one. F equal m a. Okay, I got Nitira. How to get the F equal ma equation according to Newton's second law? Yeah, right. This is a first method, right? Acceleration based method. We have another method, momentum based method. Let's see in the next part. Okay, clearly note down. If you have any doubt, send me message into chat. Pinuji, understood? Kalindu? In physics, that's a rule. This proportional mark, when you convert into equal, we have to add a constant. Constant. That's a rule in physics. It is not always equal to 1, right? Only for this equation, it is equal to 1. Only for Newton's second law equation, it is 1. Okay, complete. Okay, write down the next topic. Newton's second law. Okay, at the second subtopic, under Newton's second law, the second subtopic, based on momentum method. Based on momentum method. Based on momentum method. Newton's second law based on momentum method. Based on, I think it is very new to you. All right? In all level, you did only acceleration method. Acceleration method also you did the theory and equation. But in our syllabus, we in details everything required based on momentum method. Momentum method. Momentum method. Clearly understand. Okay, my first question, what's the meaning of momentum? What's the meaning of momentum? What's the meaning of momentum? What's the meaning of this momentum? Momentum means the symbol P. What's the meaning of momentum? Can anyone remember? What's the meaning of momentum? Definition? Oh, the simple idea. What's the meaning of momentum? Momentum. Momentum. Nithira, what's the meaning of momentum? The momentum. Yeah, a lot of answers. Motion of an object. No, motion we not called as momentum. Motion mean velocity or something. Others? Momentum. 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 How much motion of an object has? How much motion of an object has? Mass in motion mean, yeah, every answer not completely correct, but part of hari. Remember, the momentum mean the reluctance of any object to change the motion type. Yeah. Venuji, it is calculation. The effort need to move an object. No, this is the actual meaning. Venuji, the P equal M over V, that's correct. Mass into velocity, that's the product is the momentum. That's correct. Yeah. Hasab, the momentum is the product of mass and velocity, but remember, the actual meaning of momentum is the meaning, the definition of the momentum. Calculation method, you all are correct. M into V, mass into velocity. The momentum means the reluctance of any object to change the motion type. What's the meaning of that? The reluctance of any object to change the motion type. The reluctance. What's the meaning of reluctance? Reluctance of any object to change the motion type. That means the reluctance of any object. Think we have a vehicle in the highway, right? Vehicle is moving on the highway, expressway, with 100 kilometers per hour. It's a maximum speed. Now, if we apply brake, suddenly if we apply brake, is it possible to stop? Is it okay to stop? No, it is very difficult to stop, right? That's why the reluctance to change the motion type, the reluctance to change the moving object to rest. Okay, that's the meaning of momentum. Understood? The reluctance. Akamatane, the reluctance mean, oh, the reluctance to change the reluctance of any object to change the motion type is the momentum. Remember, the momentum is depend on two main factors. The reluctance of any object depends on the two main factors. The first one is mass of the object. Mass mean M. The second one, velocity, that you already know. Velocity. C. Velocity. V. Velocity. Okay, what do you think? When increasing the mass, momentum increasing or decreasing? While increasing the mass, the reluctance is both same road, container and small car moving in the same speed. Which one difficult to stop? While increasing the mass, momentum P increasing or decreasing? The reluctance increasing or decreasing? Increasing, very good. The momentum mass increase, the reluctance is increasing. Increasing. Yes, very good. If you got the velocity, when I'll increase in the velocity, the momentum increasing or decreasing? May I increasing? Velocity, then අපි හිතමු same type two cars, first one moving with 10 meters per second, the second one moving with 100 meters per second. Which one difficult to stop? Which one difficult to stop? 100 one, right? Then while increasing the speed, velocity, the momentum also increasing. Both factors increasing. Right. Due to that, both directly proportional, due to that, we can say the momentum equal P equal, the momentum equal mass into velocity. Mass into velocity. Mass into velocity. Then P equal mv. P equal mv. P equal mv. Right. Huh? How it came a circle? Okay. Write down. The reluctance of any object, it's given in the table, right? Given in the board. The topic is momentum within bracket P. The reluctance of any object to change the motion type. The reluctance of any object to change the motion type. Is called as a momentum. Is called as a momentum. Second point. There are two main factors. Affect on the momentum. There are two main factors affect on the momentum. First one, mass of the object within bracket M. Mass of the object within bracket M. Second one, velocity of the object within bracket V. Okay, don't need these things. Directly write down the equation. Velocity equal mass, momentum equal mass into velocity. Okay, momentum equal mass into velocity. Do you know what is the unit of momentum? Do you know what is the unit of momentum? momentum unit. What's the unit of momentum? Unit of P. Unit of P. P mean momentum, right? Do you know? You don't need to remember them actually. Units මතක තියාගන්න ඕනේ. Yeah. NA mean no. Hazard. Momentum mean unit kilograms. Very good. Kilograms meters per second. Because mass, you don't need to remember them. Hazard. Mass unit kilogram. Velocity unit ms minus 1. Then it is kg ms minus 1 is the unit of momentum. Kg ms minus 1 is the unit of momentum. Kg ms minus 1. Kilograms per meters. Kilograms meters per second. Kilograms meters per second. Kilograms meters per second. Okay, the momentum is done. Momentum is done. Hi. Let's move into final part of today class. Hi. Today we only discussing only two laws. Newton's second law. In details, everything we discussed, right? Final part. Okay, let's move to final part. Okay, I told Newton's second law we can describe it in two methods. The first one, acceleration method, that you already know. Acceleration method, if there is an unbalanced force, it is accelerating. This acceleration directly proportional to the unbalanced force and inversely proportional to the mass. This is acceleration method. Now you already know momentum as well. Momentum ekak danna. Momentum, what's the meaning of momentum? How to calculate momentum? What's the unit of momentum? Everything done. Now you can explain the Newton's second law by our second method, momentum based method. Write down, this is the momentum based method. It is very simple. In momentum method, Newton explained Newton's second law. මෙන්න මෙහෙම කිව්වේ. හරිද? The unbalanced force act on any object the unbalanced force act on any object directly proportional to the directly proportional, you know, right? Directly proportional to the momentum change rate. Momentum change rate. Okay, I can clearly write down the unbalanced force act on any object directly proportional, right? It is directly proportional to the momentum change rate. Momentum change rate. The unbalanced force act on any object directly proportional to the momentum change rate. Now, okay, this is the most important part. This is very new to you. Now, acceleration method you already discussed in O-level time. It is very new for you. What he explained, think this type object. Try to clearly understand. It is very simple, right? Very simple, not too advanced theory. Okay, think it is object, same object. it is travel from A point to B point. A point to B point. Right? It is travel from A to B. Right? The mass of object M, same object, it is M. And it is starting velocity, initial velocity V1, final velocity V2. Final velocity V2. Right? This is starting initial point, this is a final point. A to B. The object travel from A to B. Now tell me what is the momentum of A? A wala momentum එක මොකක්ද? Senura. What is the momentum at A point? Mass into velocity. කොහොමද ගන්න අපි? Initial velocity, initial momentum. Hasa. How we get the initial velocity? Initial point mass into velocity. කොහොමද ගන්න? කලින්ද? How to get? Initial point mass into velocity. Yeah, m into v1, very good. Initial momentum mv1, right? mv1. Then final momentum mv2. mv1, mv2. May balan what Newton explained in the Newton's second law based on momentum method. One of the accurate. The unbalanced force mean F, right? Unbalanced force directly proportional to the momentum change rate. Momentum change rate. Unbalanced force directly proportional to the momentum change rate. Do you know velocity change rate equal to acceleration? Velocity change rate, how we write the velocity change rate? Velocity change rate delta V divided by time. That's not it. Velocity change rate equal to acceleration. Same thing. Momentum change rate. Momentum change rate mean if directly proportional to momentum change rate mean momentum change divide by time. Divide by time. Momentum change divide by time. Momentum change divide by time. Momentum change divide by time. That's the meaning of momentum change rate. Again, momentum change speed. Right. Momentum change mean now if directly proportional to the momentum change mean final momentum minus initial momentum. Final momentum minus initial momentum. Then we expand right? The same thing I expanding, right? Final momentum minus initial momentum divided by time. Final momentum minus initial momentum divided by time. Now, if unbalanced force directly proportional to the final momentum, what's the final momentum? mv. Now you got mv2. What's the initial momentum? mv1 divide by t mean time. T mean time. Right? Up to now, okay, guys? Everyone? Savidya? Harmid, up to now. Now, still if directly proportional to, now m common to both, therefore I can get mv2 minus v1 divide by time. Now F directly proportional to m v2 minus v1 divided by time. Now, okay, now F directly proportional to m v2 minus v1 divided by time. Yeah. Now, what's the meaning of v2 minus v1 mean velocity difference divided by time? What's the meaning of that? Velocity difference, final velocity minus initial velocity divided by time. What's the single name for this part? Acceleration, right? Acceleration. Now, instead of this entire part, I can add F directly proportional to M in part instead of this part, we can introduce A, right? A. F directly proportional to MA. Now I want to remove this proportional mark, same as previous. I want to remove this proportional mark, F directly proportional, F equal KMA. Now I told K value experimentally found it is 1. Then F equal MA. F equal MA. F equal MA. This is a Newton's second law based on which method? Based on momentum method. Momentum method. Understood? Or any doubt you can ask. Any step doubt you can ask. Out of any step you can ask now. Xenon and Senure. Xenon. Last part mean from this point, Hasa. From this line. Okay. Now F directly proportional to mv2 minus mv1 divided by time. mv2 minus mv1, that means final momentum minus initial momentum divided by time. mv2 minus mv1 divided by time. Now m is common for both, right? Both term m common, then I can get out this m and m into v2 minus v1 divided by time. Now instead of this entire part, that means velocity difference v2, final velocity minus initial velocity divided by time. Instead of this entire part, we can replace acceleration because velocity difference divided by time equal to acceleration, right? A, acceleration. Then F directly proportional to MA. F directly proportional to MA. It is A, right? It is A. A. F directly proportional to MA. Now, to remove this proportional mark, again same theory, same concept, at a constant. The K is constant, but experimentally found K value is 1. Then K value 1 mean 1 into MA, it is F equal MA. F equal MA. Okay, Hasa? Okay, clearly note down. Draw this one, draw this diagram and clearly note down. We have only 5 minutes. ඉක්මන් කරන්න අපි lesson එක ඉවරයි. Quickly. Note down. Okay, done. Asa. Okay. Final thing. Final thing. Final thing. Now, both methods, acceleration method and momentum method, both methods, we got our equation F equal ma. What's the meaning of m? The mass of the object. What's the meaning of a? The acceleration of the object. Acceleration of the object. Now, the problem is, what's the meaning of f? Can you send me? What's the meaning of f? Nitira, what's the meaning of f? Quickly. That's the final point. It's rather Kranti. What's the meaning of f? What is the meaning of f? Vinijiro. Vihangaro. Not the force. No, Simon. It is unit. I asked what's the name? What's the name of f? Now, m equal mass, a equal acceleration, f equal, very good, Chevan. It is, ekada godak names thiyena. It is not the force. In O level time, it is force correct. Force O level correct, but in our syllabus, it is not force. Not only our syllabus, the actual thing, it is not the force. It is unbalanced force. Unbalanced force. Unbalanced force. Or the same thing, the resultant force also same thing. Resultant force. Resultant force. Resultant force. Or net force කියලා කියන. Net force. Net force. All terms are correct. All terms are correct. Net force. Net force. Resultant force. Okay. Okay. Do you have any doubt? Today lesson? Any doubt? Akhil? Akhil? Vihanga? Jeniru? Okay, no doubt. Hi. I told some the variety Tina. What's the first thing? You have to fill the Google form. I'll pin in the group Google form. Fill Google form, and get the tune pack and join with July group. Okay, may join with our July group. The thing is, from next week we doing only information into July group. Therefore, join July group and get your tune pack. And the tune pack consists of some paper also in first lesson. Past paper questions also I have included in the tune pack. And register in our website. Register and register. This week task is register. Then next week I will explain how to get the access of recordings. Other than register, right? Registration process I explain. Okay. Any doubt? No homework today. The homework is go through again Newton's law, and we discuss basic parts, go through again and read 2 to 3 times. That's the homework. And next week we start the second part of first lesson with calculations. Second part again. The basic part is completed. Okay, Medicaran Google form, fill the Google form and join with its group and register in our website. Then how to get the access of recordings, I will explain next day. Hamon register. Right. Then good night, goodbye. Let's meet next day.
Sir,
Yeah.
sir, is the register link in the group?
No, I'll send the registration video and link and Google form, everything. I will send now.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay.